Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We are all George. So good morning. Welcome to another market open stream. What is going to happen today? It looks like Bitcoin and crypto are turning upwards today in the green, and that's always good. But what about the US market? What about some macro fears that are still lingering? Let's talk about all this and more. All right, let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are starting out today at 109, which is like 1,500 higher than yesterday. So that's good. We're seeing a little bit of green. It's about time. I mean, we were greener 2 days ago and then fell down. There was so much FUD out there, even in live chat. So much FUD out there, okay? We haven't gone anywhere. Are we like so far off that there's no possibility of getting back to our previous high? No. Are we still in October? Yes. Are there still months left of this year? Yes. Just chill. Chill. There's too many people that are trying to find excuses to get themselves out. When you panic sell, you panic dump, it never leads to good things. Never does. Okay? You want to sell on the way up. You don't want to sell when things are down. Think about that. Do the reverse of what you usually want to do. But yeah, today, like Sol's up almost 6%. You got a lot of green today. And of course, more green for Clash. I'll talk about that in a bit. But the US market is opening up, let's see, in the green slightly. Yesterday, it turned really, really red. And in my night video, I shared how it made no sense. There was nothing yesterday that was so terrifying that caused everyone to sell. It was just FUD. It was just because people thought, okay, everyone else is selling, so I should sell, and I'm going to panic dump. And you know what? That's it. There was nothing horrible that came out yesterday. Okay. Now, there is something big tomorrow, but yesterday made no sense. Just people panicking again. And Wall Street does that too sometimes. As for macro stuff, right now, there's this like silence between the US and Russia now. There's supposed to be like a meeting between Putin and Trump canceled, and now Russia's kind of silent on the whole thing, doesn't know how to take it. But Trump's been saying like, Putin is just not doing anything. They have good chats, but he ends up not doing anything. He's not happy. And then he slapped some tariffs on two of the largest oil producers of Russia. And EU is also slapping sanctions or tariffs on them. And Trump is working with India to kind of like put more pressure on them. Right? So that's kind of the latest thing from yesterday. As for US and China, there hasn't been any more words. I haven't heard any, so I don't know. But yeah, these are two ongoing things. There's really nothing else that's really spooky at this point. Okay. Tomorrow, though, we will get a CPI reading. We haven't had one. We haven't had any economic data for a long time. But finally, someone listened to me and said, okay, maybe we should send some people in to the Labor Department and get some CPI numbers. Like, how difficult is that? You just need one person to go in, get a supervisor, get someone to go in and pull some numbers. But no, they insist on if there's a government shutdown, everyone just does not work. This is the problem. This is the problem sometimes, right? Between something that's controlled by the government versus like private sector. This will never happen in the private sector. Anyways, moving forward. Outside of that, what else is there? Tesla did not do well. Their earnings was bad, I guess. People didn't like it, so Tesla's not doing well right now. But the good thing is they still held on to their Bitcoin, over like $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, and they made $80 million of profit. So it's making them look good. Yet they're not embracing it more for some reason. They should. All companies should. But, you know, they don't. What else? The U.S. national debt reaches all-time high of $38 trillion with the T. Now, the plan on buying Bitcoin, right, by the U.S. government and utilizing that to pay off or pay some of the debt off is actually a good idea, because there's nothing else that we have that works. You know, the U.S., if you think about it for countries, I'm just thinking out loud here, and, you know, like with everything, there's, you know, retail people, Wall Street, funds, whatever, right? We have the ability to invest our money. And the hope is, if you do it right, you're going to make more money. You're going to outperform everything else that's out there, right? That's why we invest in Bitcoin and crypto and now Clash and, you know, even gold and silver and real estate, right? We invest. But if you think about like a nation like the US, there's no investment. It's monetary policy. So you're trying to drive rates up or down. You're collecting taxes. You're trying to make your currency, in this case the USD, the strongest one there is. So you can manipulate the market. You could do a lot of stuff. But ultimately, none of these things are investments, right? If you think about it. And not only that, not only is the U.S. not investing, the U.S. is also spending irresponsibly and then borrowing by issuing a whole lot of bonds. So for the U.S. to change course, to actually, we have a Bitcoin reserve, but to actually utilize something, a portion of what we print or anything, or a portion of what we collect, and we use that to buy something like Bitcoin, that's actually investment. That's actually amazing if you think about it. But we haven't done that yet. We haven't done that yet. I guess I take it back. The only thing I could think of that the nation actually invests in is probably gold, but I don't know if we continue to buy gold. And we certainly didn't buy it for investment purposes. But, you know, Bitcoin is a whole other animal, whole other beast. If we actually did put into place a plan as a nation to load up on Bitcoin, that in 20 years, 50 years, 100 years will easily pay off. Maybe not the whole thing because the debt keeps going higher, but it'll pay off a good chunk of this. You know, just thinking out loud, it's a good idea. It's just not being implemented right now. There's a whole lot of other stuff to worry about, to be quite honest. All right. Now going back to some Bitcoin and crypto news. ETF inflows from yesterday. Overall net negative, but not with BlackRock. BlackRock is like, no, we're going to buck the trend. We're going to continue to load up. We had a few days of outflows. We got to replenish our stockpile, even though they still have 60, I don't know, within, what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I don't know if this is the overall number, 65,000 Bitcoin. I think they have a lot more than that, but I don't know where that number is coming from. But anyways, they want to replenish, and they don't want any more losses. And same thing with Ethereum. They loaded up on 110 million in Ethereum. So BlackRock, you know, sometimes just goes against the grain. When everyone else is panic selling, they will buy. That's the right way to do it. Right way to do it. Robert Kiyosaki also says it. I mean, even this, despite gold skyrocketing recently, and Robert is also a big gold bug, he's talking about Bitcoin. That's amazing. That's like Peter Schiff all of a sudden saying why I am buying Bitcoin. It's not the same thing. Robert has been a Bitcoin bull for a few years now, but still, majority of his wealth, or majority of his investments, I should say, is in gold, gold mines, silver, silver mines. Bitcoin is definitely not one of his top investments, but he's turning more and more bullish on Bitcoin every single day, it seems like. He gets it. There's only 21 million. Unlike gold, unlike anything else, it's pretty much unlimited. You don't know where that last one, where it'll be or when you'll find it. With Bitcoin, you know exactly. It's all programmed by code. It's not going to change. Big difference. Michael Saylor says Metaplanet will become the most valuable company in Japan. And many people say the same thing about Strategy becoming the most valuable company in America. Depends on how high Bitcoin goes, right? Strategy recently, though, has been going flat, right? I know that. But it's just a matter of time before they start going up along with Bitcoin. Bitcoin and Bitcoin treasury companies are all going to benefit hugely in the future. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it, and there's no post here. Last few things. Accumulation, still ongoing. This time, not the whales. This is showing like more like the shrimp territory, but still, or no, shark territory, but still very vast. Having a balance between 100 to 1,000, you have to be in a shark territory. But look at that accumulation, okay? From 2024 till now, just skyrocketing right now, right? So don't let the FUD get to you guys. A lot of people spreading a whole bunch of FUD because they are feeling the FUD and they're feeling miserable. But you look at the facts, you look at the metrics, you look at the fundamentals, you look at everything that's going on, we're improving. The only thing is the price, and that's the thing. Unfortunately, 99% of the people judge solely on the price and nothing else. But we are strong, and you could argue we're strong, probably the strongest we've ever been. We're building that base, and it's going to get better. So just don't FUD yourself out in the market. All right. So this is short term. As we lead into next week, what is going to happen? Well, it looks like something's going to happen. Some kind of breakout is going to happen. And it could start tomorrow with that big inflation report. We haven't had any economic data for 2 weeks straight. It's been very quiet. So tomorrow will be a big day, but it's not the end of the month. Next week, we will have an FOMC meeting. It's locked in right now that we will have a rate cut, but maybe this will affect the course. I don't know if it's going to make it, better or worse, but it may make December's rate cut better or worse. Maybe inflation ticks down and December will get a 50 basis point. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But we're at a cusp of doing something. Maybe breaking right back to 126. I think people forget we're not that far off. We were just at 114 like 2 days ago. And 114 to 126, what, $12,000? That's 10%. Again, some people act like we're 50% off from our high. We're not. We could move 10% in 1 day, a couple of days. It could come really quickly. And that's how it's been in previous years and previous cycles. It gets really stale, it gets really boring, and then boom, we just start moving. That's just how it works. Yep. Yep. ETH whales scoops up 32 million as Solana whales cash out. Is that really true? Is that really true? I think this is written by ETH guy, okay? I don't think Solana whales are cashing out. Because Solana is doing pretty well today. And it's not that far off from its all-time high either. But there are a lot of people that are acquiring ETH. Okay, especially these ETH treasury companies. They're loading up on ETH right now. Here's another one. 2,000 ETH. Becomes the 11th largest ETH company on the planet. What else is there? Polymarket eyes a 15 billion valuation. This is probably the only dApp that has come out of crypto that's widely accepted by all the big financial firms. Like, they got a deal with New York Stock Exchange and ICE and all these guys. So good for them. Unfortunately, they're just on top of Polygon. That's the only unfortunate thing. They should just create their own chain at this point. And then Jupiter wants to do the same thing. They want to come out of the prediction market. There is no, I don't think there's a prediction market on Solana. No, actually, Kalshi. Yeah, I heard of them. I think they are on Solana. But, you know, anyways, everyone goes with Polymarket, right? But having some other ones come out will be good. Will be good. All right. That's pretty much it. Let's see. Coinbase and Hood barely green. Tesla really red. Today, kind of a mixed day, although crypto is coming up. So you can see Sol's above 190, which is good. But I mean, I know it's been up and down, up and down. Let's see. Yeah, the true mark is to get back to 219. ETH is below 3,800, 3,900. Up barely 1% today. Bitcoin is at 109.5. We could certainly see the same kind of movement as a few days ago where we go up. There's a lot of shorts right now. Way more shorts than longs. You can just get a couple of short squeezes and go right back up there. Those market makers, as much as we hate them, they are fair. They will liquidate whatever side is heaviest. And right now, the short side is extremely heavy. So that's something to look forward to. And also, Clash continues to be strong, really strong. And we are growing still. This is despite a bad market. Now we're back up to 45 million. Awesome. But I do have something really awesome to show you guys that I discovered this morning, which is really focused on the holders. Okay, because the community is nothing without its holders, right? So I've shown this before, and our holder count pretty much goes up consistently every single day. We're above 6,700. We'll probably be at 6,800 later today. And, you know, hopefully above 7,000. Look, I mean, look at our holder graph, okay? Versus all the other big meme projects on Sol. And a lot of you guys showed a lot of these to me. Like Doge Elon Mars, whatever, okay? Which is still one of the stupidest names out there. And then like Chill Guy, one of those popular, and Mood Dang, and Popcat, and Fartcoin, which I refused to say before, and Peanut the Squirrel. I mean, look at all the holders on them. Dropping like a rock, except Clash. But here's the most important thing. I think most of these holder counts are fake. A lot of these projects will do dusting so that they boost, they just give us a little bit to like all these random wallets. And they do that because it makes their holder count look very high and very awesome, right? Like they're growing. But is that really the case? Okay, so here's the amazing thing. So with this site called Holder Scan, you can look at all holders, and you can look at all holders above a certain price, okay? Or how much they're holding in their wallet, I say. If you're just looking at over $500, which is not a whole lot, the holder count drops dramatically, okay? So if you look at the holders that are holding over 500, you look at Clash is already above some of these guys. We have 2,155 holders above 500. That's above Moondang. Okay, that's above Chill Guy by a lot. That's above Peanut. And if you look at like Giga or PopCap, Farcoin, Elon, they're a little bit higher, but they're not that far off. If you go above 1,000, it closes the gap even more, and now we're even above some of the other ones. So this is what I'm saying. Like these are true holders. Not like the dusted ones where it's like below $10, there's like 10,000 or 100,000 of them. But to have the true holders that are holding something like $500 worth or $1,000 worth, Clash has 1,563 $1,000 holders. More than Peanut, more than Chill Guy, more than Moondang, and only 700 away from Elon and just 1,000 away from Giga. We'll catch up to them because they're dropping like every single day, right? And we're doing this again during not so favorable conditions. But yeah, it's just amazing to see. So that's why my point is, you know, these guys may show like they have 100,000 holders. You know, like Chill Guy has 118,000 holders. You know, our market cap is already above them, right? Those 118,000 holders are all fake holders. Maybe not fake, but they're dusted wallets. Same thing with a lot of Peanut and all these other guys. We're building something truly special and very different than everyone else. We're doing it legitly, and that's all I have to say about that. All right, let's do some Q&A. Transcendent Party. I'm concerned about decentralization or lack thereof. You should look at the top 25 count at some of these projects, and you'll be surprised how undecentralized they are. Clash is the most decentralized community project versus all these other ones that have been launched. All the big ones, a lot of times the founders or the initial groups own like up to 80% of the supply. Those are not decentralized, and you don't know that. But sometimes it gets discovered. Look at Trump coin. Look at Melania coin. They were launched with 80+% control by the family or whoever built the coin. I'm going to be around for a long time. Even if I stop streaming, I'm going to be supporting the coin. And if you're in Discord, you'll know how much time and effort I'm putting into the project. It's the only thing I ever think about now. And I just don't see in any scenario where the project's not going to do good in the next coming months. I will be adding NFTs. Okay, soon. 3 tiers. And each NFTs are going to have their own unique benefits. The top tier, tier 1, very coveted right now, will get a special watch, VIP treatment at the Vegas party, but also Clash. You will be getting, basically you'll get a grant for Clash by holding it, and you'll get it in 3 months. And it's priced in a way where it's already more than what the NFT is, what the price of the NFT is. So it's very, very coveted right now. Gerald is asking, what is your take on having some exposure to Zcash? The price predictions are wild, maybe just in case bag. No, it's already so big. So it's not like a meme coin. It's not like Zcash is going to go up 1,000x. or 100x. So for me, no. I mean, doesn't mean it can't do well. It could still do 2, 3, 5x. Maybe it could do a 10x. But like, I just think every government around the world is going to try to shut it down. Space Vibe answers that question. Crypto companies go belly up, but token remains. Yes. Yes. I mean, just look at Dogecoin. The two founders of Dogecoin left the project. They sold everything, and it was dead for however many countless years. Then Elon revitalized it, and one of the founders came back. So crypto projects never really die. As long as you build that community, it never really dies. Only if the community was never there in the first place, then it dies. Oh, by the way, and tournaments, the new tournament link is up. This Fanty's new website is awesome, by the way. But tournament link is up. It was up since last night. And, you know, there's no more forms. You have to go to the webpage, georgeplaysclashroyale.com, and then /tournament. This is going to be this Friday. We have tournaments every Friday. And they've been getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Last week we had about 305 players. Top prizes are still substantial. 3 sold for first, 2 sold for second, 1 for third, 4th to 10.5. But also, they get doubled if any of those finishers have more than $20 in Clash. So then it becomes 6, 4, 2, and 1. But also on top of that, 5 random players will just win just by participating. And if we have 400 or more, then 10 random players outside the top 10 will win. And plus, there's 20 selected spectators that will win, and the multiplier effect is still in play. I mean, there's really no reason why everyone should not be either watching or playing. Even if it's not your thing, even if you could care less about this game or tournament play, but you have a good chance to win. Some of you guys know Blockchain Boy, Lucas. He said that he's going to be participating this week. And we had some other KOLs participate and projects participate, like Turbo. They had representative playing. Snack had people playing. I don't know if they're going to play this week, but I know Lucas said he will. So maybe he's going to bring some of his fan base in too. Do I play Clash of Clans? No, I don't. I don't. My kids do. My kids do. Why do you think the U.S. government is taking a stake in quantum computing? I mean, it's the future. Why not? You know, you want to make sure you keep an eye on them, make sure they don't, you know, end the world. I think everyone's fearful that quantum computers are going to be so powerful they could just crack any encryption. I think that's the real reason why U.S. government is keeping an eye on them, make sure that they can't hack our nuclear codes or anything like that, or maybe utilize them to hack the nuclear codes of our enemies or even of our allies. Hold on. Tyler says, can you wave at the screen for my daughter? Do you expect the end of the 4-year cycle to come into play within a few months? I think the chance of it not happening is higher than the chance of it happening at this point. I would give it like a 60-40 right now. It might even be higher than that. It might be even 70-30 that we don't see the start of crypto winter in a few months. We just keep on going. There's too many institutions right now. There's too many. And I can't imagine all of them just dumping come January. Can we have corrections? Yes. Can we have a 30% correction for a few months going from January all the way till October next year? Sure. But do I see us having an 80% correction like previous cycles? I just think the chance of that is getting less and less. Can you explain exchange slippage? It's better to just ask ChatGPT about that. It just depends on how much liquidity is there. If there's not enough liquidity, you sell too much, you go lose to slippage. If you buy too much, you go lose to slippage. That's it. It all depends on how much liquidity there is. All right, coin is up slightly. Robinhood's been falling a lot recently, even though it makes no sense. AMD, Nvidia, Broadcom, all up. Gold and silver up slightly from yesterday, but still vastly down. Peter Schiff always finds a way to spin gold in a good way. I saw a tweet where he said something like, oh, imagine if gold could fall down 6%, then what could happen to Bitcoin? It's like he's turning a 6% crash in gold into a way to diss Bitcoin, into a good thing for him. I'm like, come on, man. Digibyte is not like Zcash in any way. Alt Zulu. Digibyte is not a privacy coin, so I don't know why you think it could do a Zcash. No Kraken update. If there was, I would share it. I would share it in Discord first. But no update yet. I mean, but why? You're saying just mean a run up. Why? Why would you think Digibyte do a run up like Zcash when they're not similar in nature at all? That's like saying gold is running up, and I ask, oh, why is I don't know, why is coffee not going up? If gold's going up, why isn't coffee going up? Do you think it's going to run up like gold? Like, the two have nothing to do with each other. They're not, I don't even know what that means. They're true cryptos. What does that mean? Yeah, I'm just going to stop answering it, man. I don't think you really know what you're talking about, and it's becoming irritating responding to you. Rivian plans on laying off 600 workers. That's no surprise. I thought Rivian would have gone under already. Same thing with Lucid. but Amazon is keeping them afloat. Yeah, I have no idea. Like, the whole EV trend is just really dying. Everyone who wanted an EV car got one. There's no one I talk to that really says, like, yeah, I really want to get the new Tesla, or I really want to get the new Rivian. That phase is like over. Like, that happened maybe like a few years ago, but now it's like everyone that wanted one got one. And now it's kind of just like fading. It's like, okay, there's a lot of EV cars out there, but I just don't see the growth continuing. Not in the way it did, I guess. There's always going to be drawbacks to pure EV cars, such as weather conditions, such as charging, the time it takes to charge, and all these things. So they will never completely replace ICE cars. Did I hear about Toys R Us data breach? No, and why do I care? The company is already dead, so why do I care? You know, they can make EV cars charge within like 5 minutes, like a normal gas car, and the stations are plentiful as gas stations everywhere. Then, yeah, I could see at that point in time, you know, half the cars will be EV and half will be ICE. But we're nowhere close to that. There's so many places you go to that won't have a charging station, and you'll be just, you know, you'll be stuck. Did you know that Chevy offers 1,000 horsepower short cab Silverados you can order? With their Silverado EVs, maybe. I think those are close to 1,000 horsepower, but not their like gas ones. Yeah, phones don't charge in 5 minutes, but the super fast charging, at least, you know, within 15, 20 minutes, you get most of the charge. So at least that's good. I mean, with cars, I don't, you know, they can't charge that fast because they like blow up the battery. But maybe someday we'll get it to down below 10 minutes or something like that. I have never owned any Porsches. I don't like the fact that the dealerships, you know, add on like a 50K upcharge to their popular cars. In that way, they'll never compete with Ferrari and the others because they still play the same dirty tricks as like a Chevy dealership or a Ford dealership, right? If Porsche wants to be seen as one of the top dogs, they won't be doing that. But their dealerships are encouraged to do that. You try to go order a GT3 or GT3 RS, they will tell you you can't do it. And when they get one, they slap on $100,000 or $150,000 upcharge. That doesn't happen at a Ferrari dealership. If they allow you to purchase one, you're purchasing it for MSRP. They're not going to slap on another 150,000 on top of that. So this is why I don't own any Porsches, because it pisses me off that they do that. Yeah, the batter swapping technology is cool. But I just don't think that you have to have like a million batteries at a place to be able to handle that. So if you could just drive to a station and they just change out your battery, that would be awesome. But the logistics of that is going to be really, really, really hard. You have to swap batteries everywhere, make sure there's enough batteries at these places. And, you know, what if you get to a place and they don't have a battery for you and then you're like kind of screwed? I mean, so it's nice to think about, and they already have in China, but like to do it on a mass scale, I just don't think that's feasible. Strap-on NFT holders will benefit by getting a T3 Clash NFT. And then that entitles them to some Clash. So yeah, I already thought about that. And not just the strap-on NFTs, the I Am George NFTs, the one of ones, there's like maybe 12 in circulation. They will get a T2 one, which is actually very valuable. So I'm bringing everyone into the fold. MDE. I have 4 cars. I have a Cyber Beast. I have a Wrangler 392, a LC500 convertible, and a Ferrari F8. What is going on with Cadena? They're dead is what's going on. This is why I got off the bandwagon years ago, and I did not believe that they were going to do well and make a comeback. But to do like a public announcement like that, I don't think I've seen other companies do that. I don't think I've seen other companies just saying, okay, we're out of funds, we're closing down, that's it. Maybe that's the proper way to do it, because some of these other companies just stop tweeting and disappear, so that's even worse. But I mean, they were still worth like $100 million. You know, they could have done other things if they wanted to. Like I'm thinking about new things to do all the time. I don't know what they're doing. Like they had years to try to improve the tech or do more marketing or do like, I don't know, offer staking or something, kind of NFTs, do something that will keep them afloat and alive, but they just decided that it was too hard and they just quit. So it's just unfortunate. They really had good technology. That's why I supported them back in the day, because I looked at them. They're utilizing Bitcoin security, and then they figured out how to scale it. And it was very promising. And they had some good advisors to the team. And the team seemed like they were legit. They were the ones that built JP Morgan's blockchain. And I don't know what happened. I did not watch F1. It looks like a cool movie, but I'm not a big F1 guy. And I don't think I have Apple TV. I think it's on Apple TV or something now. I'm waiting. It's a moment of silence because I'm actually waiting for some interesting or good comments or interesting questions, and there are none. I'm just filling time here. All right. Well, Clash is still doing well. Our holder count continues to go up, which is amazing. And the tournament is out. So make sure you sign up and sign up for the giveaway if you haven't been participating. So I guess we'll do a couple giveaways. So we added another 60 something entries since yesterday. So that's awesome. We'll do 3 today. During the tournament, there's going to be 20. So that's going to be huge. Not eligible. Someone put in a wallet that does not have Clash, or they sold it, which is kind of stupid. Here's another one. What is people doing? See, that's 2 people that could have won some free soul, but not. Here's another one. I hope this thing is not broken. 3 in a row? Oh, don't read the minimum token balance requirement. I guess maybe all these are holding under 2,000 Clash. No, I think the wheel's broken. That's like 5 in a row that's not working. All right, I fetched it. I think the wheel broke. Yeah, the wheel broke. I'll have to ask the devs. They were working on it last night. I think they broke the wheel, so no giveaways until tonight. All right, guys. Make sure you put your entries. I'll do a couple extra ones tonight to make up for it during my gameplay time. But yeah, the wheel's broken. Anyways, stay strong, my friends. I will see you guys later tonight, either on my video or live streams. Okay, and we'll see where crypto goes. All right, have a good one. Take care.